The Chargers are giving up the second most receptions per game. They run the third highest rate of two high safeties in the NFL. He is 12th in the NFL at 25.6%. So I am fully expecting another 5 or 6 grabs. I think we'll go over. Ravens at Bucks. Official picks, which we're tracking it 63-23, and that is 73%. I'm actually still upset, but honestly, when you're rolling at 75% as we were on Friday, I mean, it's probably only one way to go, and that is down. And we did go down, but not too far. Anyway, let's get into it. Number one, this one I got in a little earlier, but I'll still make it an official pick. Chris Godwin over 73.5 receiving yards. I'll kind of go over the data on Godwin one more time. But look, the Ravens are a pass game funnel, number one. They are giving up the 5th most receiving yards per game and the 3rd most yards per route run to slot receivers. They have been a sieve in the middle of the field. So I do believe it'll be another Chris Godwin game. I'm actually going to go in officially on Mike Evans as well. So I'm going to change it up a little bit because I had Baker Mayfield, but that was bet up a little bit, so I'm going to back off there. But we will talk Baker in a moment. But it is risky. Hopefully I don't regret it. But Big Mike got the thumbs up on Saturday that he's good to go. Does play hurt, does also get hurt, but 54.5 receiving yards is pretty darn good. He'll see a lot of Brandon Stevens. I think that is a beatable matchup. And again, they're vulnerable inside. And Mike Evans does line up in the slot. So I could see him making a play or two lining up inside. And then last but not least, I love this one. Cade Otton. Don't do me rotten, Otton. But 38.5, we're going to hit this. We're going to go over. Ravens have not yet allowed a tight end to score, but they are giving up the 2nd most receiving yards a game to the position, to my point about the middle of the field just being wide open. 72.7 yards a game to tight ends is quite a bit. If you were watching last week, one of my top 10 props, and I absolutely loved it, Zach Ertz. I think I went over his catch total as well, and he hit both. He got let's see, what did he get? 4 for 68. I think Otton can do, well, he's not going to average as many yards per catch as that, but I think he can do just as well. He did not go over this number last week, but he scored. So he's been good 4 weeks in a row. The previous 3 games, he's been a factor as Baker is looking for him. He's kind of been the 3rd option in the passing attack behind Godwin and Evans at 44, 52, and 57. So those are 3 official picks. But we'll pop out some leans as well for those looking at those. Leans have been good on Thursday Night Football and Monday Night Football lately. Terrible last week, which I actually don't feel bad about because that means I narrowed down 20 props and I basically did a pretty good job of excluding the 10 that are bad because they didn't do very well, and the other 10 didn't crush either, but they went 6-4. But Baker Mayfield, I am officially in on this one at like 3 or 4 yards lower over at fantasypoints.com a couple of days ago, but it's been bet up a little bit. But I'm still leaning that way over 257.5 minus 125. How about this one? I like Lamar over 52.5. You know, I would not play the 9.5. If I'm going to play one of them, it's the rushing yards, obviously, because if he runs a 9.5 or 10 times, he's probably hitting that anyway. But he might not, and he might still hit it. So that's why I like the yardage one. And then I'm with the grinder Tom Brawley on Zay Flowers as well. That's a lean, pretty heavy lean, over 65.5. And then I pulled back from Derrick Henry, which I was officially in on at fantasypoints.com, I believe. I think it's 84.5. That was bet up a little bit, so I'm not going to officially make the pick. But I feel pretty darn good about those picks. It's really tempting to go all in, baby, and try for 8-0 or whatever it is, 6-0, 7-0. But we're just going to play a little safer here. We are going to go in on those 3. Here is one official pick for the second game, which is Chargers at Cardinals. And that is absolutely Trey McBride. Love Trey McBride. If you happen to listen to me on SiriusXM over the last couple of years, I did the morning show there for a decade. I still go on there quite a bit on the Fantasy Channel. It is the Fantasy Points program, actually, now. So I got all my guys, including Tom Brawley, the grinder. But if you've listened to me, I watched Trey McBride at the Senior Bowl practice for a week. And I came back, and this is why I go. I reported, I'm like, this guy's really good. This guy's very competitive. And I watched all his reps. He won every rep. He was always open. He was like 7-11 out there, always open at the Senior Bowl, practicing against the best seniors in the country. I said, he's good. Get him. And it's going well for Trey McBride. He hasn't scored yet, but he's kind of crushing it. The Chargers are giving up the second most receptions per game and the 8th most receiving yards per game to tight ends. They run the 3rd highest rate of 2 high safeties in the NFL, and they give up 7.7 YPA on slot targets in that shell. And McBride leads the Cardinals in target share against 2 high, which again, they run at the 3rd highest rate. He leads the Cardinals in target share against 2 high. He is 12th in the NFL at 25.6%. So I am fully expecting another 5 or 6 grabs from Trey McBride. I think we'll go over 51.5. And we do have some leans as well. We all know that Harbaugh is all about the running game in LA here with the Chargers. So I like J.K. Dobbins. J.K. will not stand for just kidding this week. He will get it done here. The Chargers have generated the 4th most adjusted yards before contact per attempt, while the Cardinals have allowed the 6th most. And LA has the 4th best rushing grade in our online matchup tool. Their O-line should do very, very well in the trenches here in this one. Cardinals are giving up 4.7 yards per carry to running backs, 2nd most rushing yards per game. Josh Jacobs and Emmanuel Wilson last week crushed them, 25 carries for $116. So I do like that as well. And I also like Kyler Murray, over 33.5 rushing yards. He did not run all that much at all last week, but he's been running this year when their offense is actually operating at a decent level, which I do believe will be the case in this game. Of course, Bo Nix last week in this matchup ran for a boatload of yards in this one. So I like those two, but it is time now. That's all I have in terms of official picks and leans. It is time now for a double dose of the Monday Night Special. And the best bet on the Monday Night Special is brought to you by GBank, the official bank of VSiN. The GBank Visa Signature Card is your best bet, delivering 1% cash rewards on eligible gaming transactions and 2% cashback rewards on all other eligible purchases. For more information, head to VSiN.com/GBank. That's VSIN.com/GBank, subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply. If you're looking to get cheeky out there, if you're feeling frisky, let's go with a couple of Monday Night Specials, starting with Cade Otton. We're going to go up a little bit with the yardage. It's alternative receiving yards for Cade Otton. He's going to go over 50.5, and that's going to deliver plus 180 for Monday Night Special number 1. And then Monday Night Special number 2, we're going to stick with the tight end position. I love the tight end position. I'm usually very accurate with tight ends because I'm a failed athlete myself. Trey McBride will go over 70.5 alternative receiving yards, and this one's going to hit nice, plus 200.
Thanks for watching, but don't let the betting insights end here. If you want an extra edge this football season, you can get a month of VSiN Pro right now absolutely free. That means access to our betting insights, analysis, and tools like our betting splits at 0 cost to you. Click the link in the description to sign up.